A literary agent makes a blood bond to a Bodhi tree. Every time he says a word, a leaf falls from the tree. When all the leaves fall, Jack, much like the tree, will die. Jack McCall is a loudmouthed, successful literary agent. He is the best in the business. His only secret is his gift of gab. In other words, he has a way with words. He can speak fluently and eloquently, thus convincing anyone and everyone he meets. His skill proves invaluable at work. Everyone praises Jack for his ability to close any author he pleases. We later find out that besides his job, Jack is also a family man. He has a loving wife and son. In the beginning, we see Jack McCall as the alpha dog, with his own office, his own assistant, and people who are willing to do his every bidding. And on top of all that, he is not afraid to stretch the truth a little. For example, when a lady didn't let him cut in line, he stood at the back and pretended to get a phone call from his wife, who was supposedly giving birth to twins at the hospital. And presto, he got coffee on the house. At work, one of the valet parking personnel keeps asking McCall to check the script he sent a few months ago. Jack promises he'll get to it when he gets to it and goes to his office. There, he holds a very important meeting. Jack found out about Dr. Sinya, a New Age spiritual leader who can, quote, fill a football stadium on a Tuesday. Needless to say, using his gift of gab, Jack is convinced that he will beat all the other literary agents and get Dr. Sinya to sign the book deal with his company, making him mountains of cash. Later, we see Jack attend one of Dr. Sinya's meditative practices. As is his nature, Jack stretches the truth once again and pretends to go into shock by the vision during meditation. This gets Dr. Sinya's attention, who talks privately with Jack, but he sees right through his charade. Jack tries every trick in the book to get Dr. Sinya to sign the book deal with him. While Jack is trying to persuade the New Age spiritual leader, he pokes his finger on the Bodhi tree. He doesn't pay much attention to it, but Dr. Sinya knows what this means. Finally, the doctor relents and agrees to sign the deal with Jack's company. On his way back, calls his assistant, bragging about the deal he just closed. He informs the guy that he will be spending the rest of his day with his mother. He goes to the nursing home and finds his mom. She has trouble telling Jack apart from his father and keeps referring to her son as Raymond. Unable to break through to her, Jack leaves the nursing home and goes back to his wife and child. She tells him that she wants them to move to a house that's suitable for a family, instead of living in a bachelor pad. Jack tries to argue against it, and then the ground starts shaking. When they went outside to see what happened, the Bodhi tree Jack poked his finger on was in his yard. But this time, the tree is different. For every word Jack utters, the tree sheds a leaf. He is scared about what happened, so he calls Dr. Sinya to his house. He looks at the tree and informs Jack that he is bonded to the tree. In Dr. Sinya's experience, this happened only once before. The guru tells Jack that when all the leaves fall off the tree, it will die, as will Jack. Dr. Sinya tells Jack to be quiet for 3 days, giving him enough time to find a solution to Jack's problem. Panicked, he tries to find ways of getting around not talking. He tries writing the words on a piece of paper, only to find out that the leaves fall all the same. On top of that, everything someone does to the tree happens to him. That's why, when he tried chopping it down with an axe, all he got was a big scar. While trying to navigate everyday life, Jack gets into a lot of trouble. First of all, he can't get the right coffee order, and the barista winds up pulling $70 for a simple order, all because Jack can't talk. At work, he needs to navigate a book deal and tell a bunch of representatives from Europe how he signed Dr. Sinya, but all he can say is life is a journey, leaving the clients flabbergasted. All while he keeps wiggling in front of them because a bunch of squirrels are climbing on the tree and tickling him. He tries telling his assistant Aaron about the curse, but he doesn't get it either. Then, at dinner, he tells Aaron to represent him because he can't talk. However, this causes Jack to lose the deal with the VP and the head of marketing at Simon & Schuster. At home, Jack and his wife are trying to negotiate a day of the week where he could spend 1 hour with his son. Not wanting to waste words, Jack decides to remain silent, which only angers his wife even more. She storms out of the room. It's the next day, and Jack tries to close an easy deal over the phone. He takes a lot of talking toys to close the deal. Meanwhile, Jack's wife talks to one of her friends at work and tells her about the marriage problems they've been having. She gives her a bag of kinky toys and tells him to meet her in a hotel room. Jack goes there and can't believe what he sees. His wife is wearing a revealing leather outfit and is willing to do anything he tells her to. Not wanting to waste any more of his words, Jack doesn't say a single word. She gets embarrassed. Then she gets angry when he can't tell her he loves her and decides it would be best if the two split up. Finally, Jack meets up with Dr. Sinya after the 3 days have passed. The two are at a diner and Sinya tells Jack to stop talking. Instead, he tells him to start showing people how he truly feels. Jack doesn't understand what the guru is telling him, so he storms out. After the fiasco with his wife, Jack attends another meeting where he gets high because his gardener tries to kill the Bodhi tree with DDT gas. He starts talking nonsense, loses another deal, and his boss fires him. Trying to fix this quote-unquote curse, Jack tells his assistant to watch the tree while he goes out and feeds the homeless, donates to charity, and helps those in need. When he realizes that nothing helps, he decides to get drunk. He enters the house around midnight with a bottle of alcohol in his hand. He tries to end it with the tree, but his assistant knocks him out cold and tapes his mouth. The next morning, when Jack wakes up, he only has a few words left, so he realizes what he must do. He fixes all of the broken relationships in his life, including the one with his mother. He then forgives his father for abandoning him, but just as he says, "I forgive you," before his father's tombstone, the last 3 leaves fall off of the tree, and Jack dies. As the rain is pouring over his body, his phone rings, and by some miracle he picks up. It's Aaron, his assistant. He's calling to tell Jack that the tree's leaves are back in full bloom. Jack is overjoyed. He meets with Dr. Sinya and tells him he wrote a book called 1,000 Words. At work, Aaron took over and is now the top literary agent at the company. Jack goes to him with Dr. Sinya to get published. They accept his book and give him 3 offers to choose from. He tells Aaron that any deal will work fine. On their way out of the office, Dr. Sinya offers to treat him to a slice of pie, but Jack refuses. He has more important things to deal with. At the end of the movie, Jack blindfolds his wife and brings her in front of the house she wanted to move to. Jack tells her that he has already bought the house, and his wife is overjoyed. She can't believe her husband changed so much. While they were talking, their son says his first word. Boom.